Good morning, children. How are you all? Welcome back to class, children. Are you all staying indoors? Are you safe? Okay. Now, did you understand the last lesson, children, which you learned? Did you play the Kahoot? Did you write the test? Okay, very good, children. Now, today's lesson is a continuation of the last lesson which you studied. Okay, sources of medieval India. Today, we are going to learn about religious literature, secular literature, books, biographies, and autobiographies, and we are going to learn about travelers and travelogues. Okay, now, first we are going to learn about religious literature and secular literature. Our puppet friends are going to come and teach you about religious literature and secular literature. Okay.
Today we are going to learn about religious literature and secular literature. Sit back and listen, children. Now I'll tell you what religious literature is. What is religious literature? Devotional movement in South India and later in North India resulted in the development of the bhakti or the devotional literature. Okay, the Chola period was known as the period of devotional literature, and works like Kambaramayanam, Periya Puranam, Nalayara Divya Prabandham were composed by 12 Alvas and compiled by Nadamuni. Devaram composed by Appar, Sambandar, Sundarar and was compiled by Nambi Andar, Nambi, Manikavasagar, Tiruvasagam were all compiled during the Chola period. Kabir Das, a 15th century poet, also had a great influence on the Bhakti movement in India.
Now I am going to teach you about secular literature. Now what is secular literature, children? Do you know? Okay, I think you will not have enough knowledge about secular literature, so I will tell you the answer. Secular literature is one which comprises of worldly things not pertaining to religious rituals or beliefs. Okay, these books were used to have the code of duties for kings, administrators, and the public. They told us a lot about worldly things. They were not about religion. Okay. Now, Madhura Vijayam and Amartaya Taga were poems composed by Gangodari and Krishnadevaraya. These poems help us to gain knowledge about the events of individuals associated with the Vijayanagar Empire. We do not have any Indian accounts about what happened during the Turkish invasion of India. Now, children, did you understand what is religious literature and what is secular literature? Okay.
We are going to learn about books, biographies, and autobiographies. You know what books are, what biographies are, and what autobiographies are. We have learnt in our earlier classes, no? So, now, in the 16th century, Emperor Baber wrote a book called as the Babernama. And Abul Fazl, he wrote a book called as Ain-i-Akbari and Akbarnama. All these books provided valuable information about Baber's and Akbar's rule. The way how they ruled their country, and what rules they followed, all that is mentioned in those two books. Okay. Now, in the 17th century, Jahangir wrote an autobiography called as Tuk-i-Jahangiri, throwing a lot of light on that period. So, we get a lot of information from the book that Jahangir wrote. Okay. But a man called as Badauni did an outstanding work. The name of the book which he wrote is Taruk-i-Badani. It was published in the year 1595 and it consists of 3 volumes. The volume on Akbar's reign, the important out of the 3 volumes is a volume in which he wrote about Akbar's reign. It's a very frank and critical account of Akbar's administration, particularly of his religious policy. He was a critic of Akbar, and so we understand how Akbar ruled during his period. Understood till this, children? Now, next we are going to learn about travelers and travelogues. Have you gone for sightseeing to any tourist place? All of you would have gone to some place as a tourist. So, what is the use of this tourism? You will just go for sightseeing, see the places, enjoy the climate and come back happily. Okay. You go as a tourist. Now, who is a traveler? A traveler is a person, he also travels on a tour, but he not only goes for sightseeing and for enjoying the climate, but he will also go and talk with the locals of that place, and he will gather information about their lifestyle, the food they eat, the lifestyle they follow, and about the importance of that place. All that information he will collect. Such a person is called as a traveler. Okay. Next is travelogue. Now, what is a travelogue? A travelogue is a film, a book, or an illustration about the place which was visited by the traveler, and all the experiences of the traveler will be mentioned in that book or a film or the illustration. That is called as a travelogue. Understood, children? Now we are going to learn about some travelers. First, we will learn about Marco Polo. You all know Marco Polo. You have learnt about him in your earlier classes, and you are familiar with the name also. Yes or no, children? Do you all know Marco Polo? Okay. Now, Marco Polo was a Venetian traveler. He is from Venetia. Okay. He visited India in the 18th century during the Pandya rule. When did he visit India? He visited India in the 18th century. During whose rule, children? During the Pandya rule. Okay. Now, Marco Polo came twice to Kayal. This place, it's a name of a place which is in Thoothukudi district. Okay. He came twice to Kayal. Kayal is a port city. And he saw that there were a lot of ships in Kayal. Okay. And in his book, he says that he himself came to India by a ship only from China. Where did he come from? He came from China by a ship to India. Okay. Now, according to him, thousands of ships were imported by sea to India from Arabia and Persia. He says that when he came to India, thousands of ships were imported. From where they imported is from Arabia and from Persia. Next, we are going to learn about a traveler called as Alberni. Okay. Now, how did Alberni come to India? Alberni accompanied Muhammad of Ghazni in one of his campaigns, and he came to India and he stayed in India for 10 years. So, how many years did he stay in India? He stayed in India for 10 years. Okay. He was a very learned man and a scholar. He was a very clever man also. He traveled all over India trying to understand India and her people. Okay. So, he came to learn about the culture of India, and he was trying to understand India and her people. So, he learned Sanskrit and studied the philosophy of India. What did he learn? He learned Sanskrit, and he also learnt about the philosophy of India. So, in his book, he discussed the Indian conditions, the systems of knowledge, social norms and religions. Okay. He wrote a book, and in his book, he has written about the religions we follow, the social systems we follow, the social norms and the system of knowledge that we follow. And he also wrote about the Indian conditions. What was the condition of India during that time? Understood, children? Now, next we are going to learn about a traveler called as Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta is also very familiar to you. We have learnt it in the 4th standard and the 5th standard also. In the 6th standard also, we had a small account of Ibn Battuta. So, you are very familiar with him. Okay, you will know more detail about him. Do you remember, children, the name Ibn Battuta? Okay, when you see his picture, you will remember him. Okay, see his picture, you can identify him. You have seen him in your textbooks many times. Okay, he was an Arab. He was born in Morocco. He was a scholar. He was a Morocco scholar, and he traveled from Morocco to India. He wrote many travelogues. Okay, what did I say? What is a travelogue? Is a book or a film written by a traveler is called as a travelogue. Okay, now this man wrote a travelogue called as The Travel. The name of the travelogue itself is Travel. Okay, The Travel. It contains rich details about the countries and places he visited. He is writing about all the places he visited. he tells us that at that time Egypt was a very rich country. What does he say? He says that Egypt was a very rich country at that time. Then he tells about the caste system which prevailed in India. In his book, he has also written about sati. Do you know what is sati? Do you remember, children? What is sati? Who abolished it? We learnt it in our lower classes. Okay. If you have forgotten, I'll tell it to you again. Okay. In those days, there was a system in India in which if the husband dies, okay, the wife has to fall on the pyre of the husband and has to die. Okay. It was compulsory for the wife to fall on the funeral of her husband, which is burning, and burn herself and die. Whether she likes it or not, it was compulsory that the wife must die if the husband dies. That is called as sati. Okay, so this man wrote about the practice of sati in his travelogue, and he describes the city of Delhi as a magnificent city. Must be he would have seen the Taj Mahal and many other medieval buildings of that time. So he describes Delhi as a very vast and a magnificent city. Okay. Now, in the south, Vijayanagar had many foreign visitors who left behind the detailed accounts of the state. Not only the travelers which we learnt now, but the Vijayanagar had many foreign visitors. Some of their names we don't know. It has not been mentioned anywhere, but they have left behind very detailed accounts of the condition of that state which prevailed during that time. Okay. All of them, they recorded their observations, which are very useful for us today to know about the glory of the Vijayanagar Empire. Understood, children? Now you understand who is a traveler, what are travelogues. Then did you understand about the secular literature, religious literature which we learnt now? Okay. If you have any doubts, you can clear them in the doubt clearing Zoom. Okay. That is all for the lesson today, children. Thank you. Now, children, it is mandatory to write your test hereafter. Okay. Following the lesson, there will be a test, and it is mandatory to write the test and also play the Kahoot. You know what is the procedure to follow, no? To play the Kahoot and the test. First, you have to write your admission number. Then you have to write your name, and only then you can play the Kahoot. Okay, children? Be careful. Stay indoors. Thank you for listening patiently. I hope you understood the lesson. Bye.